Mark Agnifilo asked the jury to acquit Sean Diddy Combs of all of the charges and to send him home to his family. And with that, you know, there are listening rooms because the main courtroom is packed. That's where I was this morning. And then there are these overflow rooms. There are multiple overflow rooms packed full of people from the public, from the media. So many people converging on New York City because of this trial. And in one of the rooms, I can confirm to you that when Mark Agnifilo finished, the room erupted in cheers.
So it looks like this whole Diddy trial was just one big joke to make us know just how much he loved baby oil and nothing else, because the prosecutors just dropped the charges against him, and word on the street is he might be walking away free in the next few days. According to Jaguar Wright, the reason Diddy didn't even bother getting on the stand himself was because he was gonna name drop a lot of powerful people in the industry. And since they don't want him doing that, they're now working to dismantle the case. This case wasn't an attack on the industry. It was just a humiliation ritual for Diddy to go through and come right back home to be the nasty creep he is. What's sad is that they dragged Cassie through it by bringing her pregnant tail to the stand, knowing good and well they had no plans of actually putting the diddler in prison. According to his indictment, he was the head of a criminal enterprise that engaged or attempted to engage in sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, drug offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Apparently, Diddy would use force, threats, and coercion to get the women to engage with males workers in the freak-offs, which he arranged and recorded, creating dozens of videos. These bizarre freak-off events could last for days, and Diddy and his victims would often receive IV fluids to recover from the exertion and use. He also used explicit recordings as collateral to ensure the woman's continued obedience and silence. He also exerted control over his victims by promising career opportunities, providing and threatening to withhold financial support, dictating how they looked, monitoring their health records, and controlling where they lived. As the threat of criminal charges loomed, Combs and his associates pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, offering bribes and supplying false narratives of what happened. The prosecutors also made some shocking revelations when they accused Diddy and an unidentified co-conspirator of kidnapping someone at gunpoint in December of 2011 in order to facilitate a break-in at another person's home. 2 weeks later, prosecutors wrote, Combs set fire to someone's vehicle by slicing open its convertible top and dropping in a Molotov cocktail. But here's the thing though, y'all. Everyone thought that once the trial started, the prosecutors would focus more on his RICO charges. But they have spent the last few weeks educating us on his freaky lifestyle and barely going after the RICO charges. And just when we thought they were finally gonna do that, it was reported that they actually plan to drop the charges against him. You cannot make this up. You see, Diddy is currently facing 5 federal counts of racketeering conspiracy, which includes ex-trafficking and transportation to indulge in work. But in a new letter to the court, the prosecutors suddenly decided to betray the victims by asking the court to drop not 1, not 2, but 3 of the counts against him. They claim they're dropping the charges to focus only on the trafficking and transportation of charges. But according to Jaguar Wright, that's a lie. Apparently, the prosecutors never had plans of putting Diddy in prison. They just wanted to humiliate him as a reminder that there are more powerful people that he still needs to learn to respond to. And now that they've proved their point, they're trying to slowly wash down the case and let him off the hook. Child, even Diddy's lawyers are now getting brave, and they're pushing for the 2 counts that the prosecutors are still clinging on to also be thrown out. For example, one of Diddy's lawyers, Alex Shapiro, argued in court that the kidnapping allegation made by Diddy's ex-assistant, Capricorn Clark, was false. If y'all remember, Capricorn testified that after Diddy found out she was helping Cassie sneak around with Kid Cudi, she was taken by some strange men to an uncompleted building and made to undergo a lie detector test for 5 days. Well, according to Shapiro, there is no proof that Diddy was the one who hired these men to do what they did, and Capricorn cannot confirm either that Diddy was behind it. Not only that, but it was also revealed in court that Kid Cudi's car was blown up with a Molotov cocktail when Diddy found out that he was sleeping with Cassie. Shapiro argued once again that there was no proof that Diddy was behind the attack, and that Cudi even said himself during his testimony that when he confronted Diddy about it, Diddy denied being involved. From the looks of it, Diddy's defense is slowly but surely washing all the evidence down to nothing but circumstantial evidence and arguing that there is no concrete proof of Diddy doing these things outside of the incidents just coincidentally happening right when he had an issue with all these people. And instead of the prosecutors fighting back, they're giving up and dropping the charges. They dragged all these witnesses to the stand and traumatized a whole set of jurors just to now sit back and watch Diddy slowly crack down every count, one after the other, till there's nothing left to charge him with. To make matters even worse, during Diddy's closing statement to the jurors, his lawyer humiliated Cassie by accusing her of being a willing participant of the freak-offs. He said he can admit that Diddy was physically rough with Cassie, but when it comes to the SA and him apparently forcing Cassie to have freak-offs, she did that out of her own free will. He said she was a willing participant in their sex lives. She's a woman who actually likes sex. Good for her. She's beautiful. She should. If you had to pick a winner in this whole thing, it's hard not to pick Cassie. Child, the fact that he can still say this after everything we know is crazy. Now, of course, Jaguar Wright saw this and she went off on the prosecution for wasting everyone's time. Jaguar was actually present during the first day of Diddy's trial and was so sure that he was going to be imprisoned.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant. We're getting started.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that.
Not only that, but when Diddy was arrested, Jaguar spilled major tea about the intel she has been collecting on Diddy over the years and how she's been in contact with Cassie and the feds. She also demanded for Diddy to be taken on a perp walk on the streets of New York. For those of y'all who don't know what a perp walk is, it's an American tradition where an arrested suspect is taken around the city in handcuffs right after the arrest out in public, usually from the police station to the vehicle to the courthouse, and then after the court hearing back to the vehicle, creating an opportunity for a media frenzy to take photographs and video the event. The defendant is typically handcuffed or otherwise restrained and is sometimes dressed in prison garb, and this is mostly done in New York City. According to Jaguar, Diddy needs this exact kind of treatment so that photos of him in his handcuffs and prison garment will be plastered all over the news and send fear to his partners.
I want the perp walk. I want the twisty ties. I want him on the ground. I want people putting his head into the car. I want that. That's what they did to the kids.
Yeah, there's never been an image of Diddy in handcuffs.
No, we need that. We need that. I need that perp walk. So as I keep reaching out to victims, I can let them know it's safe to come outside. That's all I want. The only thing that's going to make any of this hoopla worth it is if he does a perp walk, if he gets put into a car, if he is treated like the criminal that he is on camera. See, they got all of these images leading up to the secret arrest of him having a good time and doing all of that. But when is he going to start having a bad time? I want his passport surrendered, and I want a perp walk. I want to see him look as humiliated as he should look after what he put those boys through.
As usual, people had their own thoughts. Like this person who said, I don't believe they were ever really looking to lock him up. This was all about humiliating him and destroying his career, which mission accomplished. Another person said, he literally kidnapped Capricorn Clark. What the F? This demon better not walk away. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Diddy getting his charges dropped? And do y'all think this is the first step by the prosecution to get him off the hook? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.